Hello, hello. Cool. Okay. Okay. We sincerely apologize for the technical hitch, but then I'm sure I'm audible now. Can you indicate in the chat for me? I think so far we have two viewers, expecting the others to join. Sincerely apologize. It's been challenging here. Any of the viewers to indicate in the chat whether you can hear me loud and clear. All right. So still waiting, still waiting for any comments. All right. So we ended on the ChatGPT interface for the free version. Um, we would want to look at the prompting, but even before then, we would also want to check the features, the added features that the premium version has, and then we can move on to prompting. But before then, I want to be sure that I can be heard. Okay. All right. So even before we continue, I just want to ask that you hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel and turn on the notification so that you'll be notified of my future videos and content. I hope to get this done before 18 hours GMT. Um, yeah. Okay. So we will go into the features that are in the paid version or ChatGPT Plus that were not seen in the free version, that were not seen in the free version. So we have the model selector where we can select between models that we choose to use. And then also we have the upload option where we can upload more than two files. But in the free version, you're allowed to upload only two files per day. Only two files per day. So we'll be exploring these two. We'll be exploring these two options. Yeah. Okay. It also has the share button where you can share what you're doing with other people and some other interesting features. Okay, okay, I'm now seeing the chat. I'm now seeing the chat. Okay, so we're good to go. Okay, so in the In the paid version, you have the features in the free version, and in addition to that, you have the GPTs that you can create, customize, and then explore what other people have. And then you have the model selector, which is not available in the free version. In the free version, you have just the model that ChatGPT provides. And as at now, the model that ChatGPT uses for the free version is the model 4.0. Model 4.0, but it has some limitations. So it switches between ChatGPT 4 and 4.0. Then we have the O3. The O3 can be used for advanced reasoning. If you want ChatGPT to take some extra time to think through the prompts or the input you have given it to give you a better output, you can use the O3. Then we have the O4 mini. And as it stands now, the O3 is not detected, it's not detectable by many of the AI detecting softwares. So O3 mini, as it stands now, could be used for some form of professional writings. Then we have the O4 mini, which is the fastest at advanced reasoning. And then we have the O4 mini high. There are more models, the 4.5 and 4.0 mini. The current free version switches between the 4.0 and 4.0 mini, and then the ChatGPT 4. Then with the 4.5, it rides better than the 4.0. However, it's still under construction. So it's the research preview that is available, and there are limitations to its usage, just like the deep research. So in the earlier session, we saw that in the free version, you have about 5 available prompts to use the deep research for. And in the paid version, you have about 25 actually for a period of 10 days. And then we have the search toggle, which can be turned on and off. And we have the create image option where you can use to create images. And then we have the view tools. We can also use the canvas, which is also available in the free version. The canvas helps you to collaborate with other writers and then also coders to code. Then we have the dictate where you can use to dictate what you are saying so that chat will get um, whatever you are saying and transcribe it. And then we have the send. So look at the customization. It was in the earlier video, but I'll just go over it. So we have the customization telling it what I do so that it will be able to answer me in the way I want it. You give it specific instructions, and it gives you even suggestions here. Are you someone who is into poetry writings? You want a forward thinking response, you want an encouraging response. Are you a Gen Z? You can add all those tags for customization. This is to help customize your own ChatGPT, your personal account, so that the response that you get um, are, are good enough. Okay, so we're going to zoom straight into giving ChatGPT some work to do for us, and then we'll see um, the various the various outputs that we get with ChatGPT. So going to go into prompting. Going to go into prompting. When we say prompting, all that we mean is that we are giving chats and inputs. We are giving chats and inputs. So the input is the prompts. So a good prompt must have these 3 features, and I call it the CRE framework. It must have a command. It must have a command, and the command is usually an action verb or a task that you are giving ChatGPT to do for you. Then it must have a rule. The rule is the the profession or the expertise you want ChatGPT to assume to be able to do writing or to be able to do a particular task for you. So you can ask it to assume the role of a student. You can ask it to assume the role of a consultant. You can ask it to assume the role of an HR professional, and so on and so forth. Then finally, you give it an expectation. And with expectation, what we mean is you need to give it a format for your output. In fact, you can give it a style of your writing. So if you are someone who writes long pieces of text, you can give it a sample text that you have written and ask it to learn the style and use that to write the other format, other outputs that it will give you. Then you can define the length of the responses. So you can tell it you want it in 200 words, you want it in 300 words, you want it in 1,000 or 2,000 words. But mind you, for all the models that we have, there are limitations to the number of words. And these things are reviewed from time to time. So you would know it as you work with it. So let's go into prompting. The better your prompts, the better the prompts that you give ChatGPT or any generative tool, generative AI tool, the better the response that you would get. The better your prompt, the better the response. It's just like Gigo, garbage in, garbage out. If you give a good prompt, you get a good response. If you give a weak prompt, you would get, a weak response. A weak response. So I'm going to start off with the students and researchers amongst us. So I'm going to add a few files. These are journal reviewed papers that have been downloaded, and then we want ChatGPT to summarize. Want ChatGPT to summarize the information from these articles. So I'm going to add them here. Click on the plus sign. The plus sign. And then I'll upload from my computer. I'm not showing that side, but just browse to find the articles that you have downloaded. So I'm attaching a set of PDF files, about 4 of them. But in the free version, you'll be allowed to attach only 2 documents per time. In the free version, you'll be allowed to upload only 2 documents per time. So over here we have about 4 research papers uploaded, and we are going to ask ChatGPT to do something with this for us. Still using the ChatGPT 4.0. For today's session, we will use just the 4.0. And I'm going to have a masterclass from here where those who would want to go into the advanced reasoning and stuff like that, you can explore the other options because these are not even available in the free version. And in the masterclass, I'm going to provide all the participants access to the paid version for a period of 4 weeks for the training. And afterwards, you can get the premium version at a cheaper rate. I'll show you how to get it at a cheaper rate and you'll be able to use it. The premium version goes for $20 as you saw it earlier in the first session. But there are ways to get it cheaper, not at the prevailing rate of dollar rates in your country. So that will be done in the masterclass for those who want to take AI to the next level. But for the basic, we can attach these documents. We want chat to give us a response in context of this document. Mind you, earlier on, we learned that for all AI tools, they work on a database that has been given. So they learn from other information that it has been fed with, and then based on that, it's able to generate original content for you or generate information out of that set of data that it has been trained with. We call it training. We train the AI model with set of data. So given these three um, reviewed literature, I can just ask ChatGPT to summarize the attached papers for me. And let's see the response that we'll get. It will read it and it will give you a comprehensive summary. So this is the summary it gives. The summary it gives. But as a student, you probably wanted something more than this. Not just highlights, but you wanted something in an essay form. You wanted a certain number of words and all that. You would have to define it in your prompt. So here is the summary. This is the thematic convergence across the 4 papers uploaded. There is one that talks about a theme of AI in farming. The key insight has been shown here. In food safety has been shown, in consumer science has been shown, and all that. Now we want to give it another form of prompts, and I'll call this a strong prompt or a power prompt, as the name of this session implies, as compared to the one I gave it, just to summarize. So now this is the power prompt I'm going to give it. As we learned, ChatGPT as a generative AI tool is a conversational AI tool. So you need to give it much information to get the best out of it. And that's why I said earlier that though AI came to or is here to make work easier and faster, it is not for lazy people, because you cannot just sit down and just ask it, write 1,000 word essay for me for an assignment submission. You would get chaff. You need to be able to give it information, give it a good prompt so that it will answer you in a particular context. So over here, the attached papers are already there. I'm not going to upload it again, but I can still upload anyway. Because in the free versions, you're allowed to use just 2 uploads a day, I would assume we are using the free version. So I'm not going to add any more files. So I'm going to prompt it this way: summarize the papers or PDF documents attached earlier in this chat. Mind you, I said that ChatGPT has a memory, so this is still in its memory. Act as an academic writing coach, assisting a postgraduate student. So this that I have given it is defining the role of chats. So it's now going to assume the position of an academic writer. Use the funnel effect. That is to say, in the writing of the summary, you want it from the general context in which the papers describe whatever they are describing, and then narrow it down to highlight the main findings and conclusions. Maintain a formal tone, or you can use an academic tone. Avoid repetition, which is usual of many of these generative AI tools, because they want a lot of words. So you will just keep repeating ideas, not in the same words, but in different words. So avoid repetition and keep the summary written within 300 to 400 words. So here I have defined my expectations. I have given it a role and I've given it a command. The command is the summarize. I can even go on further to ask you to output it in a Word document. That works normally in the paid version. So that's why I've taken that out. So you can give it an output. It can give you everything here, even in Word, for you to download. So just asking it to maintain a formal tone, keep the summary within 300 to 400 words. And now I can hit the send. And let's see how the summary is going to be like as compared to the earlier one. This is the summary we have. It's added references, and these references are from the documents that were attached, so they will be valid because they are reviewed papers. But if you allow chat to just generate things on its own, it will hallucinate and give you references that are not valid. So it's good to give it a context in which it has to write. So here we are with a very good writer, very good writer. But of course, it will be flagged as AI written because you have used AI to write. But I believe not even everything would be AI detectable. Let's see. Let me just use Killbot AI detector to see if detected. I will explore more on this in the paid version, the masterclass, how to avoid the AI footprints. This is 100% AI generated, and that's true. Generated it directly from AI, but it's a great stuff. You know, reading through, you have the thoughts well structured, and you can rewrite this in your own words or change a few things about it. Okay, now let's look at another aspect of prompting. This time around, not summary, not writing, but we are going to uh, ask ChatGPT to help us analyze a set of data, okay, in research for the research guys amongst us and for the students as well. So I'm going to upload an Excel file, which is the response from the survey conducted before this tutorial, those who registered. I'm going to upload that database. Okay. And I'm going to give it a very good prompt again. I can just tell it to, I can give a weak prompt that is, how will I analyze the data like this? Supposing it's a data I've gathered from a survey or from a research, and I want to do data analysis. I can just ask it to help me analyze the data with advanced reasoning. Or if I have the 4.0 ChatGPT 4.0 and I want it to help me use a statistical software myself to analyze, I can ask it to help me analyze this data using this particular software. So let me give a prompt and we'll try and break the prompt down into the the command rule and then expectation. So this is the prompt. Review the attached Excel file containing responses from a survey conducted for PowerPoint's workshop. Act as a data analyst and an academic research advisor. So here I've defined the role, data analyst and academic research advisor. Based on the structure and type of data, recommend suitable data analysis tools and methods, including descriptives, frequency, potential inferential techniques, and tailor your guidance to look to tools that I am familiar with. Then I list the tools I'm familiar with. And help me tell a compelling data-driven story about the sample size and distribution. So here, ChatGPT can help you come out with the exact data analysis tools you should use, and then how to navigate your way around them in the software. In the software, I'm going to use the free version for this so that it does not look as if um, this only happens for the paid subscribers of ChatGPT. So just a moment. I'm loading my free version. I'm loading my free version. Okay, so here we are. Here we are with the free version. I'm going to upload a file just as I would have done in the paid version. I'll upload and select Power Prompts Training. So I'm going to ask it to do the same thing for me. Review the attached Excel file, act as a data analyst and an academic research advisor. Based on the structure and type of data, recommend suitable data analysis tools and the methods, including this and that and that and that. So I'm going to hit send. It's going to work on it for me. It will take some time to analyze, and soon I'll have my outputs. Thank you for sharing the survey data from the power, whatever. Based on the structure, this is the response. It's giving you a descriptive statistics and then the sample overview. You can use Excel, use pivot tables, and count ifs formulas. You can use SPSS to analyze the frequencies. You can use stats graphics. You can use R. So examples of the stats to present in your final research paper. The total responses, that's the sample size, the percentage of students, percentage of researchers, percentage employees, etc. Most common industries, AI familiarity distributions, because those were the questions I asked in the survey. Then the frequency and cross-tab analysis. So this is another thing that you could do. The objective is to understand the relationship between the roles, as in the various job roles, and AI familiarity, or between industries and training expectations. So here, it will give you the methods you can use for the various statistical applications you are familiar with. Okay. And so on and so forth. All right. So supposing that we want to do inferential statistics using the chi-square test, and you are not conversant with chi-square test in SPSS, how would you go about it? We've learned that AI, ChatGPT is a conversational AI tool. So this is how you go about it. You continue the conversation with the ChatGPT and you ask it that demonstrate or show me in steps. Now I'm going to use another function that we are supposed to learn because of our time. So I'm going to put them in. I'm going to dictate so that it will pick my voice and transcribe it for me. Act as a data analyst and show me steps on how to use chi-square or how to analyze my data using chi-square in SPSS. Show me the steps and also write me a syntax that could be used in SPSS to run an analysis like this. Now I've used the dictating function. Let's see how it goes. It's written in here. Act as a data analyst and show me steps on how to use chi-square. Just as I said. So I'm going to, here I've defined a row and then I have given a command. Show me the steps is the command, but I've not given any expectation as in the number of words. It works well because I'm still in conversation with the earlier prompt. So it's going to give me steps. So the objective of a chi-square is to test whether there is a statistical significance between the associations. So we want to know which of the following best describes you, which was a question that was asked, whether student, employee, researcher. What is your current level of familiarity with ChatGPT? So we import the data into SPSS. It's giving me step-by-step guidelines. Open SPSS, go to file, open data and all that. Check your variables. And this is how you run the chi-square. It's going to show you step by step. And if you follow this step, you should be able to do that in SPSS. The alternative way is to just copy this code and paste it in SPSS using the syntax option. This tutorial is for ChatGPT, not for data analysis. Hopefully someday I would demonstrate how you use syntax in SPSS in a separate video. So basically, this is how students and researchers could benefit from ChatGPT's usage in research, in writing, in data analysis. I hope this is helpful or useful for participants who find themselves in this category. The next set of people that will be considering some of the things, may cut across some of the fields. So because of time, I will not go through them one after the other, but something like writing reports, it will still follow um, the same prompts guideline, command, role, and expectation. So for a content creator, you can just ask ChatGPT to write you a social media post on artificial intelligence in the food industry. Okay, and it will write you a post. But you can define the social media platform you are looking at. You can even define your target audience. You can define the number of words that you want and all that. For instance, I want to write this in on LinkedIn. So I want it to sound more professional. So I'm going to ask chat to do that. Because I've used this for data analysis, I'm going to start a new chat. So I'll click here, start a new chat. And here's my prompt. Write a professional LinkedIn post on the use of artificial intelligence in the food industry. Act as a content strategist. There's someone who is just posting a content on social media, who understands the algorithm of LinkedIn and how to boost engagement. Use a compelling hook in the first line to create curiosity, build suspense through the middle, and end with a reflection or question to drive interaction. The tone should be professional yet accessible. The paragraph short and the total length should not exceed 220 words. Make the topic relevant to professionals in the field of food science, technology, and agribusiness. And I can hit my prompt. I can hit go to find out more. And here we go. If we ask the same prompt in Facebook based on the algorithm, it will change. and it would give you something that will suit Facebook's algorithm. So this is how content creators can also maximize AI. I'm going to give you a bit of using ChatGPT for other things as content creators, not just writing. So, as I mentioned earlier about the GPTs, we can go to explore GPTs, and there are a number of GPTs that we can use. We have CapCut GPT that can create voiceovers for you. This one was created by CapCut themselves, so I'm going to use that. But it needs to be linked to your personal CapCut account, so you need to create a CapCut account because it will lead you there to be able to download your your voiceover. So let's start first by giving it a prompt, a command, define a role, and give it an expectation. I'm going to dictate. I'm going to dictate because normally content creators don't have time. Act as a social media strategist. Let me use a content creator in this case. Act as a skit maker with a large following on YouTube and write me a script for a funny skit on how AI is changing the game in the work world. Yeah, I've given it a defined role, a skit maker. I've given it the context of YouTube. I've given it a command to write me a script, but I have not added an expectation. So let me add an expectation. The script should be brief enough to cover a voice over duration of 60 seconds. So here I'm not giving it words, I'm giving it a time duration, and it can do that calculation for us. Hit send. And here we go. The title is AI versus web developer. Who runs the web now? Then the narrator starts. Once upon a time, in a land filled with broken links and CSS chaos, lived a brave web developer. And it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So, as a conversational tool, you can ask it to go on. But mind you, whatever GPT you use will be listed here on the side pane. So here I can ask you to go ahead and turn this into a video with default aspect ratio of 16:9 or modify it. I want to go by the 16:9 is a landscape video. Content creators are familiar with these terms. So I can ask it to go ahead and it's going to generate the video for me. But it will communicate with CapCut, as I mentioned earlier. And so the final output will lead you to CapCut's website. And you need an account with them before you can be able to use it. Unfortunately, I'm not logged into my CapCut here. And so I'll not be able to uh, go into that. But I'll click on the view once it's ready. When it starts, it will show you the cursor, but once it's done, you'll be able to click on it. Let me refresh the screen. Good, it's done. If you watch the introductory video of this session, it was made with CapCut GPT in ChatGPT. And if you've looked at some of my YouTube videos, you see some of them have voiceovers that have um, been generated by AI. And that's what I use. We have the 11 labs, which you can also use, but it has a certain number of prompts that you can give. And once you exhaust that, you have to buy the premium version. So depending on the kind of work you do, if this is something that can help you make work easier and faster for you, you can go grab it. It's a good investment to make. So it takes some time to load the video, but I will need to sign into my CapCut account and be able to access it. So here we are. Can try and play it.
Once upon a time, in a land filled with broken links and CSS chaos, lived a brave web developer, fighting bugs with coffee and Stack Overflow.
Unfortunately, we didn't
Then
have
AI showed up like,
any video
relax,
scripts
human.
shown.
I can build a
So we
website
need
in
premium
0.6 seconds while playing chess with myself. The web dev squints at AI and says, you can't possibly handle client feedback. But the AI reads an email. Make the logo
Once
pop.
this is done, you can
Done.
export it,
Add more vibe.
download it.
Uploaded 500
You
stock
can
photos of
your
sunsets
view.
and smiling people.
My master
The
class
developer
is more
starts sweating.
detailed depending
Even
on
the SEO guy Panicadai wrote
the level of
1,000 blog
category of
posts in
people
3 minutes, all
that
ranking on
he's
Google.
on,
From chatbots
and
answering
would have made
emails
it
at
to
3
reach you.
a.m. to AI designing your dream site while you sleep. Welcome.
And actually, you can use some of these GPTs to transcribe a YouTube video. Let's explore that as well. We have the YouTube transcriber. Some of these I've been using, so I'm familiar with the ones that are good and the ones that are not. So once I see the symbol, I'll know that this one works. But as I showed in the earlier session, you would need to go through the various GPTs available and then try and assess it based on people's ratings. Okay, this is not what I normally use. Probably what I normally use is also in the paid version. The GPTs are built based on the kind of um, AI the person used. If they are accessible based on the kind of the AI the person used to develop it. So if it was a paid version AI the person used, it was sorry, if the language model the person used to develop it was say O3 and you are on the free version, since you don't have access to O3, you'll not be able to use such a GPT. But majority of the GPTs were created with ChatGPT 4.0. So you should be able to access majority of them. Let me try this. You can ask it to summarize a YouTube video. With the link, then you attach the link below, it would summarize it. So well, let's look at a YouTube video and let's try and summarize it. Let me go to my YouTube. So if you are on my YouTube now and you've not subscribed, I'm giving you free value for free, and so I expect that you subscribe for more. So yeah. Let me copy the link for one of my mentorship session. To move to the next line in ChatGPT, you can hold down the shift key on your keyboard and add enter to move you to the next line. So summarize the attached YouTube video. That is the command. I can give it a role, but this is a GPT, so the GPT has been built already on a role. The role is to summarize videos. So even if you don't define it, you still get a good output. But I want to give it an expectation that I will be using this summary to write and to write a blog post. So after summarizing, let me continue with dictation, typing. Oh, I lost all that I typed. So, okay, yeah. After summarizing, I've put the cursor here, so the dictation will continue from there. Continue to generate a blog post article of about 500 words to be posted on my WordPress account. I'm going to add it to the previous one I entered. Continue to generate. I'm going to move this to the next line. And here we go. I'll need to confirm, and it will talk to YouTube, and it will be able to generate a summary of the video for me. So this is something that content creators could use. Supposing you've held a live session like what I am just doing, and you later on want to write your book out of that, you can transcribe the live session. There are transcription tools. You can transcribe the whole session, and after transcribing the whole session, use the information you have given out to write your book. So the balance between purpose, work, and grace. APM mentorship talk by he couldn't get my name, the Jesse well, so he calls it JC. So those are some of the mistakes that ChatGPT and any other generative AI tool can make. Okay. This video is a mentorship session led by this, that. It explains everything. So now here's the blog post. In a world obsessed with hustle culture, and personal branding, it's easy to lose sight of the spiritual dimensions of work. And so talks about this, and I can put this on my website. So these are how you can maximize ChatGPT as a content creator. Now let's look at the last category. I wish we could do for the consultants, but because of time, we'll move on to the others. Yeah. But as a consultant, you can ask it to help you create a business plan for an entrepreneur producing a particular product in Ghana. You are giving it the context and the command. You can ask it to act like a consultant in a particular field. And the plan should include the brand name, the slogan, brand identity, process optimization for the production, and a whole lot. Can ask it to generate templates that can help to optimize the production process, ensure quality and consistency in production. You can ask it for all that, and it will generate templates for you. Now, I want us to look at how you can use ChatGPT as a student. You're trying to apply for job opportunities or for school opportunities, and you want it to generate custom-made statement of purpose or custom-made cover letters for you. The mistake people make is that you just drop a sample and ask it to write for you, or you just drop something in there and they ask you to write a cover letter for you. That's not how to go about it. So you have to define your role, give it a command, give it an expectation, give it a context. In this case, the context should be your CV. You have to attach your CV so that it can use the experiences on your CV to write a tailored cover letter for you. So here we are with one powerful prompt that we can use. I'm going to attach my CV for this. And this is the prompt. Act as a professional career coach and recruiter. Review my CV and highlight areas I should revamp or improve on to fit the job description below. Provide the suggestions on how to align my experience and skills with the requirements. After that, write a tailored and compelling one-page cover letter that presents me as a strong candidate. The tone should be professional, clear, and engaging without sounding generic or automated. Emphasize my value, align with the company's needs, and structure the letter. with a strong introduction, focused body, and persuasive conclusion. So I'm going to find any random job opportunity. Let's say job offers for food, let's say food science, or let's see, food safety analyst. I just want any random job offer, then I'll copy and paste the requirements. Okay. Oh, sorry, it's not available. Good. Kaggle has a rule, so I'm going to copy this, and then let's see how ChatGPT can help us on this. Here you can even copy the website and put it in chat, but I don't advise that, especially if you are using the free version, because the toggle cannot be on and then document attached at the same time. But in the paid, you can do that, and you can put the website there and put the toggle on so that it will search the website for a response for you. So I'm going to put a job description. It's as follows. Shift enter, and I've put the information there. I'm going to review my CV and it will help me on this. So it's the same way you can use ChatGPT to build your online presence. So if you have a LinkedIn account, you can position yourself as an expert in your field. You can ask it to help you generate a tagline for your LinkedIn account. You can ask it to help you to write compelling stories just to get a lot of followership on your LinkedIn to gain that credibility so that you will see more opportunities as people share them. So here are the review, the strengths that align with the work, the areas that I need to improve upon. It appears long. And, oh, okay. All right. So we'll fix all these, and then this is a tailored cover letter it has done for me. Okay. I'm writing to express my interest in this. Currently, I serve as this, particularly drawn to that. And then I'm good to go. You would have more flexibility with this in the ChatGPT Plus. So I hope that this has sort of given us some level of exposure to the use of ChatGPT, and especially as power prompters, people who will give good prompts in the future for your request. Okay. Because of time, I think we would have to end the prompting here or the prompt engineering aspect here. Now let's look at responsible usage of AI or responsible AI usage, and we would end it here. You need to treat ChatGPT as more like an aid, a support. So someone said, one of my friends said on Facebook that you have to see ChatGPT as a calculator um, that is helping you to make mathematical calculations. It does not mean that your human intelligence cannot make those calculations. However, with the help of the calculator, you can make certain calculations faster. And so it's a support to, you need to know your stuff before you can use it. That has to be made clear. Then you need to validate all the facts and references it gives you, especially references, because it's not going to give you valid references unless you give it a good context to use. You upload research papers and allow it to write within those contexts. That's when you will have good references. Avoid overdependence on ChatGPT. Avoid overdependence. Use it, but guide it with your own human intelligence and maintain originality and integrity. If you are using AI solely, let us know it's solely AI. But if you want to, write in academic context and in research and things like that, you need to give it that human touch. And there are even GPTs also in ChatGPT that can help you to humanize your voice, but these come with certain tokens and you have to even pay, even if you are using the ChatGPT Plus. So you can use your own human vocabularies to write in an original tone and maintain integrity for your work. Thank you so much for joining today's session. It's been a long session. I'm truly grateful for your time joining through till this point. I sincerely apologize for the technical hitches. Hope that things get better in our subsequent sessions. And I look forward to have you on for another session. This is going to be a master class, not for everyone, but for people who want to take AI to the next level. It's going to be a 4-week coaching session. I'm going to have a WhatsApp closed group for you where you would be able to chat with me directly, ask all the questions, and I would be right there to answer every one of the questions that you have. At the moment, if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat session and I'm going to answer that. But you can reach out to me by mail if you have any question. I would do well to answer also that for free. But if you want a 4-week coaching session, tailored one for your specific industry or for your specific field, I'm available to offer this for you at 100 Ghana cedis. For those of you watching this video today, joining the session today, I'm giving an offer of 30% discount. A 30% discount. You can scan the QR code on your screens right now. You also receive an email with all the information. This package is going to include an access to ChatGPT Plus subscription for a period of 4 weeks, and you would also have an ebook on PowerPoint, which will be available by Monday, 4th May. And then also, I'm going to give you a database, Excel files that will give you certain AI vocabularies. You can upload them and ask ChatGPT to avoid the use of those vocabularies. And then introduce you to freelance work so that whatever you do, if you're a content creator, you can write content for people, you can write scripts for people, you can do voiceovers for people at a fee. So I'll introduce you to freelance work, all within this 100 cedis package, which you are getting for 70 cedis within the next 24 hours. By tomorrow, Saturday, 7 p.m., this offer ends. This offer ends. I hope to see majority of you who would want to take ChatGPT to the next level, subscribe to this. You are going to learn a lot from it. I promise it's going to be better. And even this free session has been insightful, I believe. I'm going to leave you with the last hack. The last hack. The last hack. The last hack is, if you are not sure of how to put out your prompts, you can ask ChatGPT to write you a good prompt, a strong prompt, a power prompt for a task you want to do using the command rule expectation framework. And you are going to get a good response and use it for whatever you're doing. Whatever you're doing. So embrace the future of life. Life is going to be easier with AI. Thank you. If there are any questions, you can drop it in the chat. I'll answer it. Because of the time, I'll not be on for live responses to questions, but I'll answer it once I see it in the chat. See you in the master class.